So when you talked about what would we do to heal our people, the work that I'm doing at Life Camp with Erica Ford as a director of wellness, Queen, I get to work with the mayor's office to bring unconventional therapeutic healing and wellness to our people in a way that we want, in a
Yes.
language that they understand. And that is really powerful because we know how to heal our people, and you've always taught us we know how to heal ourselves.
Greetings. My name is Queen Afua. I help people to live a healthy life in body, mind, and spirit. Welcome into the sacred circle, where you will find peace, inspiration, and practical tools for living a happy wellness lifestyle. So come inside and make yourself at home.
Greetings,
My
Queen.
queens dwelling in light, and they are
Oh,
lovely. Ooh-wee. I'm gonna tell you, I
to
love the environment. The fireplace is to live for.
yes, yes. You know, during these times we have to use all of our elements, and today
Yes.
is a cold day. Um, Actually, it's supposed to snow tonight, and it's supposed to snow tonight into tomorrow. And so it's cold in the house. And I thought, what better way than to sit with my spiritual mother than with the element of fire
Thank you.
to
Love it.
bring warmth and healing. So
Yes.
I'm always so grateful to sit with you. I miss you so much. It's amazing how we're on different sides of the world. I always feel so close to you, but I miss touching you. And every time you come to New York, I'm like, wait, did I miss her? So please let me know when you come on this side again.
Yes.
And yeah, and wait, sidebar Queen, this is funny. You'll appreciate this.
Mhm.
Right before we came on, I put clay all over my teeth. So I have clay. I'm doing like this because I thought that I had, ingested and cleansed and everything. And I still feel the clay. So if anybody sees any gray on my teeth, it's all good. It's
It's
Queen
all the
Afua's
healing.
healing clay, and it's wonderful.
Wow, amazing. I have been watching you, and you have been so wonderful. Congratulations. It's like,
To
I'm
welcome.
coming out. I'm out
Yes, Feel
here.
Good
I'm out. It's
Fridays.
called overnight success that you've been doing for 20 years.
Yeah, how about that, right? You know, it's funny. I appreciate you for saying that, Queen, and it means so much to me for you to even see the work that I manifest through your teachings, because it was really, you were my catalyst for this healing work. And you planted so many seeds. Sometimes I know you have the Sacred Woman book and Planet Heal and Heal Thyself and City of Wellness. And, you've done so much in even your lifetime, which is a short period of time in the universal scheme of things, the volumes of work that you put out, that you poured into me. So there were so many seeds. Even when I physically left, the temple, you planted, like, what would you call it? Acres of knowledge. And so I've been able to just draw from so many things and bring them back to our community. So when you talked about what would we do to heal our people, the work that I'm doing at Life Camp with Erica Ford as a director of wellness, Queen, I get to work with the mayor's office to bring unconventional therapeutic healing and wellness to our people in a way that we want, in a
Yes.
language that they understand. And that is really powerful because we know how to heal our people, and you've always taught us we know how to heal ourselves. So
Absolutely.
I'm so grateful.
Well, tell us a little bit about, well, first of all, tell us what brought you into your wellness. Because there's a
That's a
dedication and
great
devotion, and
question.
it has a root. What inspired
Yes.
you to take your journey?
What inspired me actually was, at the time, right before I was introduced to you, I was working in the music industry. I was
Mhm.
working in the music industry for 10 years in the golden era of hip hop and R&B. And the
Yes.
thing about hip hop is that it is a culture, and a culture is a way of life. And
Mhm.
so you can't take apart a culture. the culture of hip hop has music, which is the DJ, it has the word, which is the MC, it has the dancing, the art, the fashion. And so when I worked in the industry over 10 years, I saw the culture be picked apart. So then the MC became the rapper. And so the DJ was moved out of the equation, and it became the producer who was behind the scenes. It's just an interesting dynamic of how a culture, people's way of life was pulled apart. And over the years, I just saw the culture of hip hop shift and how it impacted the minds of our young people. I still love the music and I love our children, but as a mother, I just began to see how the words would program the minds, how the violence, the hypersexuality, how our culture really began to reflect all of the poison in the community and the social injustice. And I felt like spirit just led me to leave. And at the time, I was at the height of my career, making the most money at the moment, and I didn't want to go. And so I was really present to what it feels like when spirit is talking to me. And just in honor of the late Cicely Tyson, who even talked about we're all divinely guided. And I had to humble myself to that, because it was gnawing at me that you need to leave and now take this work, this wellness work, and give it to the community. And I didn't know what that meant. And I realized first I had to work on myself. I had so much healing and undoing. And so I had such a deep desire in my heart to shift, to heal, to detox, to tap into what my purpose was and make it plain, that I began to magnetize people towards me. And one of those first people was Kazi, who then introduced me to your work. And that's when I took the Sacred Woman journey, and it truly changed my life. And everything that I have done when I developed Gymnasium and I began to teach was all weaved in. Sacred Woman, Heal Thyself was woven into all of that. But it came from needing to have a real sense of putting all together who I am. How do I manifest my gifts? And how do I heal myself in a way that I can bring something of value to others?
Well, over these 20 years, thank you. I had a chance to watch you. And you were working in corporate America, and you were birthing Gymnasium all inside
Yes.
the work. You must share exactly how that all shows up for the medicine. And so in that process, trying to balance out both worlds. Okay, I'm doing my vision here. I'm in corporate America. Corporate America is taking care of things that I need to keep in place, but my vision is over here. And then I watched your travels into Life Camp with Erica Ford, and then it appeared like, okay, now Gymnasium, I'm here. Now I'm doing my destiny, which is my healing work, and I have a platform to work out my Gymnasium. So now we're here with Life Camp, Gymnasium, and Kheperah. Bring
Yes.
us all together with that.
Yes. So the beauty of that is that in the process of transitioning from corporate America, I was in a high stress environment with high
Yeah.
demands while trying to get to my freedom with my
Yes.
healing work with Gymnasium. So living in both of those worlds. And I had to activate and find tools that were quick and immediate so I could still show up for the
Yes.
systemic racism in corporate America and still
Uh-huh.
deliver at a high level and still
Yes.
raise my children and then
Yes.
still be in my community and serve. And so in all of that, it was the pressure. It was the fire. The Gymnasium is about mining the diamond mind. And it
Okay.
was about really, really using all of the pressure and the pain and the process to bring me forth and help me to see that I am all of those things. I am an executive. I am at the highest levels of corporate excellence. I am a healer. I am a mother, and I am a servant of my community. And it was in being in it for so long, that eventually it's almost like the universe things just begin to level out. When you're in a space of pressure, the things that you don't need anymore begin to peel away and evaporate. And so eventually the courage to leave the corporate space became real. And you were there. I remember crying at your feet saying, Queen, I'm so afraid to leave this job because I need the money. And you were constantly reminding me that I was birthing something so much greater. And when you talk in your overcoming book about the stages of birth and birthing your vision, I truly am grateful to you for helping. I would say that you are my professional doula. You helped me to birth Gymnasium. And in the process of just bringing the work to people in my community with Life Camp, being able to sit with a mother who lost her children to gun violence, being able to bring healing tonics to our community ravaged by coronavirus, teaching them something simple like eating aloe vera raw and the nutritional benefits, or juicing tonics and getting on that big 35-foot bus that we call the Peace Mobile and driving into the hood for people who don't know what they don't know and they didn't have access to the healing, and being able to deliver it in real time and seeing the results. We received a proclamation from the Queensborough President's Office for this work because we helped to reduce the levels of deaths related to COVID just by bringing in those immune building, those immune repairing tonics and information. Because at the time, people were dying of COVID, or if you were diagnosed, they'd send you home, but they didn't tell you what to do. And they were promoting, the tests, but they weren't telling you how to build your immune system. And then we were also fighting with the fact that in our communities, there isn't access to live food and whole food, and that we have to leave the community to get it. So we're in a food desert. So we partnered with the Queens Botanical Gardens and learned they had acres of farmland. And do you know they were harvesting fresh produce and giving it to the people who lived closest to the botanical garden, which wasn't us. So we were able to cultivate a partnership through the Queensborough president, and we were able to then become a part of that harvest and bring fresh organic produce to our community from the botanical garden every week. And so as I was seeing all of this come together, I felt affirmed. There's nothing like being in your purpose in real time, even with the fear, even with the doubt, and learning how to shift that energy, because it's just energy in motion, and sitting with it when I would question myself and say, what am I doing? How am I going to survive? Sitting and observing where that feeling was. Did I feel it in my heart? Was there unresolved healing needed there? Did I feel it in my gut? Was there something with my self-confidence and my solar plexus? And just observing what was happening for me and allowing the energy to dissipate and then using it. Taking the fear, it's just energy. Taking that energy and putting it in my voice and amplifying my voice for the people, or showing up when people wanted to give up on their lives or their families, mothers who lost their children and wanted to give up, and showing up for them strong. I remember when we had a mother whose son was shot, and she was at the hospital, and she called for Erica and I. And she was like, I can't go on. I don't want to do this. I don't want to lose my son. And I held her and I looked at her and I said, you are the mother and you can speak the word over your son, and he is still alive. And so speak the words of life. Use that energy right now with me. Let's affirm his life. And she affirmed it with the tears. And then I held her hand and we took her upstairs to be with her son, because she didn't want to be in the space because she was afraid. And I said, because you're yoked to him, your energy can determine his fate. And he's alive. And now she's bringing him tonics, and we bring her tonics, and she has a different conversation. We've taught her how to check her energy. I gave her one of the pendulums that you gifted me with. So we've given her the tools. So I say that to say, when you see transformative healing in the community, when I see it in action, it really grounds me in the work. And now I am all of the things. I am a healer. I am a medicine woman. I am a social justice activist. I am a corporate executive. I help to run the organization. I am an alchemist. And so I am here for all of it, and we still got the swag.
They're not in bits and pieces. You're whole. You are right where you're supposed to be. And the fear keeps us, that's what I'm talking about, getting out those traps. So, but they're all lessons, because you said, I was in corporate America because I had to learn some information, gather some information to help me where I am now. So every level took you to the next level to where you are now, which is helping liberate our people holistically and naturally. So I would say that Life Camp is definitely one of our members in the city of wellness. That's what you're bringing forward. And I'm so grateful to hear the report. Tell us about Gymnasium, because that's like your other gig, your other work of wellness.
Yes, that's my baby. That will always be my baby, no matter where I go and who I partner
Right.
and work with. And I bring a lot of Gymnasium into Life Camp. But
Okay.
Gymnasium is really a learning model. Like over the decades, I received downloads and was able to just process a lot of information and make it simple and help people to shift the way they see things in order to have a different quality of life. And so what I learned is that no matter how much you know about healing, no matter how much you know about weight loss, no matter how much you know about what you're supposed to do, many people are stuck in actually doing what they're supposed to do, doing what they know is good for them. People watch themselves working against themselves while they say, I really need to put this hamburger down, or I really need to get up and turn this television off, or I really need to take my child outside and get sunlight. Why am I not doing it? I feel stuck. And so the shifts are what I teach. And I teach it by teaching people three things: to get in alignment with the breath, to alkalize the body with healing foods, and to remind themselves of who they are. And so in that process, I have developed a retreat, which is coming up. It is my first Gymnasium wellness retreat. It will be virtual. It's scheduled for February 27th. And I'm looking forward to bringing all of those tools together to share with people what I've learned over the 20 years in a language that's easy for them to understand, that is simple and bite-sized. And also, I would say that this work that I'm doing now is for people in transition. I work with a lot of people in the community on the ground, and most of them are trained to not be attracted to anything green unless it's money, any green foods or green juice. And so the fact that we work with formerly incarcerated men and women who've been incarcerated for 10, 20, 30 years, and they come home and they had this dying or nutritional plan of starch and heavy meats, and now they look forward to our tonic Tuesdays where we give them shots, and they're like, oh, Miss Kheperah, I need my shot. And they know about cleaning the blood, and we've introduced them products. And so we introduce them to the master herbal formulas and the tonics and tinctures. And where the Gymnasium comes in is I help work on their mind. I help to teach them who they are so that they welcome the bitters. They welcome the herbs because they understand the science of what it's going to do for them and how it's going to heal them.
Well, this is all quite extraordinary. And I was thinking about some of those that you have on the team. They've been in prison for 10 or 20 years. And I know with some of them the men came into Man Heal Thyself. So we want to keep that partnership going because they need that support. The women, we have so much available to us, but the men, they have very limited amount of the support. So let's keep that partnership also going, Man.
We will.
For the spring. Well, you're extraordinary. The work, the vision is extraordinary. And I always saw that for you. Exactly what you're doing, I always saw it for you. It seems so simple. Someone else can see what you can't see. But you found your way as a powerful healer that you are. And you're doing it full time. And you're making your finance. And you're getting your goals met. And so my love to Erica, give her my love. Tell her
I will. Thank you, Queen.
Of course, Tracy Queen. And just how can they keep up with you? They want to follow you and come to the retreat, please.
Yes, so they can certainly follow me at Kheperah, Kheperah, on Instagram. They can also text me at 347-273-8933. By texting me, they'll get the first update for the retreat when it launches. If you text the word retreat to 347-273-8933, you will get a 15% discount as someone who is an early riser to your wellness. And also you can follow us on lifecampinc.com. We're also looking for volunteers. We need more healers in our community. So we need to keep bringing that city of wellness to the streets. So anyone who's interested in volunteering and just giving back, even if it's an hour a week to provide wellness and support, please come to lifecampinc.com/wellness, and let's come together as a planet to help heal each other and heal our community. Thank you so much, Queen, for allowing me to come on and share. I love you so much.
Love you so much. You are a dream come true. Thank you. Oh, I'm so happy to have you here with us today. I feel your intelligence, your holistic mastery, and we want to hear your journey. Please tell us how you began on this quest. I know you're from Jamaica, so it's all about natural environment and herbs and
Absolutely.
soursop and coconut water and
I'm going.
greens from the field. Okay, so you had good roots. You have good roots,
Great.
right? I read your bio, and then you fell off. You became normal.
I fell off.
And with normal, being normal, you got sick. So tell us from that place what brings you to now being able to help others to heal themselves. Take us from your death to your resurrection journey.
Oh, yes. At the tender age, I started reversing about 25. The breakdown started between 23 and 24. And for most people, you think you have all the time in the world to really clean up your act. But I learned very early that that was not true. And I was going to the doctor every week until.
Well, what was going on? What was the health concern?
So it was, at one point, I couldn't walk. I went to vacation in France and my legs gave out on me. I had my friends who weighed less than me carrying me wherever we had to go. My joints gave out. Another point, my breathing started to take a toll on me. Barely could catch my breath when I needed to. That was when I came back from vacation. Then what really got me scared was I started having these little moments where I would just go black and just hit the floor. And that's when I said, okay, something's wrong. But throughout this whole time, I was going to the doctor. And a lot of times the blood work came out, you're fine. Fine, still makes sense. Or they would tell me I had every disease under the sun. So depending on what doctor I went to, they were either telling me I have stuff that was incurable, or another one said that I was fine, and then I went for the joint problem. They were like, no, your joints are fine. So when the sight started to go, that's when I said, okay, it's time to do some research. It's time to figure this thing out, because the diet was terrible. The Jamaican lifestyle was gone. Black was in full effect. Brooklyn was in full effect, and I lived near the junction. Popeyes, KFC, everything that I should have been eating is what I was eating, because that's where my school was. In college, my high school, and then eventually I just started doing a lot of research, and food was the first thing that I changed before actually doing physical movement, visualization, and meditation. The food was the first thing. And I decided, okay, since nobody's helping me, I'm gonna start doing some research and start learning about natural foods. And then I stumbled upon, it was actually Dr. Sabi about 14 years ago was one of the first people I stumbled on, but I was broke, so I couldn't afford the program. So I said, all right, let me just do some research and try to wing it myself. And I had to go raw vegan. I had no cooked food for almost a year. I went raw vegan. I lost so much weight, but I felt so much better. My mom was nervous because in Jamaican culture, you have to have meat on your bone. You can't look skinny. You have to look a certain way to be considered healthy. So a lot of people were getting nervous, but they seen the difference with my skin. They seen the difference with on overall. My whole body changed, even skin tone. Eyesight was crystal clear.
Yes.
So was the main thing, and it just taught me that raw food is not just it's not just healthy. It's information. It's like information transferring into your body. So food was always the first thing that made me decide I got to change my life. But it still didn't bring me to what I do now. I just thought, all right, this is a purpose a moment I had to go through to heal myself, but that was it. But I just was getting pushed into another level, because at this time I was heavy into a religion that I was in it from I was a kid, but it was still a point where I was just doing it because my family did it. But then the most interesting people come into your life and teach you certain things, and it just set me on a whirlwind of learning spirituality. So I ended up, after about a year or two of reading a certain book from this religion, I ended up shifting away from the religion and going more into spirituality and learning about the African spirituality and researching my original teacher, Dr. Africa. He somehow stumbled in my life, and then I started learning about African spirituality. Read your book, of course, and then the spirituality concept started to take place also. But it was years before I got to this point.
Nika, there's some sound that's coming from near your computer or something. Is there some music or something on?
No, I don't have anything on. I'm in my office, but is it any better?
I think that's better. Okay. Whatever you did, that worked.
Well, you know, what I'm hearing is that you really had to change your lifestyle because it really wasn't about age. You became an old woman at a young age when you had to be carried around, just the vision of that. And then to now go back to your roots and start to eat plant-based lifestyle, going here, going there, pulling, gathering, researching, studying, and then you started to eat the live foods and the sun-cooked foods, and then you start to restore yourself and repair yourself. So now, that's your death to resurrection. So when you tell that story, you say, wow, look at you now. You're beautiful, you're alive, you're active, you're physically moving, and all of that, you're sharp. I want to join you. So how are you manifesting your work, your teaching? People come to see you for consultation, you take workshops. How is your work process?
Before you speak, the audience is also saying it. I see, if you see it in the text, it's like some sort of music is going on. We hearing it on. Maybe turn your volume down. Yeah, that did it.
Yeah, there was a bell.
Yeah, there's a bell. There's a background.
Everybody's working with each other. We're working with each other.
Hold on, let me wait 1 second. Perhaps there's another tab on the computer playing. Can't. All right, so it's good now.
Is it good?
Oh no, it's still there.
Still can't hear me.
Oh well, let's continue.
We'll work around it. We can't let anything stop us.
Let's continue.
Yeah. So tell us. We know that you've taken your natural path, and you, through Dr. Sabi, you were inspired, encouraged. Dr. After you inspired, encouraged some of your brothers, in the physical and in the spirit. You've done some of the reading with me. Then you went within yourself deeper, and you just started pulling it all together for yourself. And you have your own way of bringing it forward now. That's next generation up. So how are you bringing it to the people, your wellness work? Give us like 3 or 4 points that you share with those who are seeking to be whole and get rid of their issues of disease.
Well, the main thing for me is detoxing.
Detox.
I'm a huge fan of detoxing because that's what works for me on an internal level, physically, spiritually, and even emotionally. An emotional detox also had to happen for me, learning how to visualize and meditate. Because it's like if you have a purpose to figure something out in life, or if you have a purpose to cure something, every molecule, every atom in the universe is going to help you and get behind that purpose to help you get there. And I realized that in my journey when everything started unfolding so quickly, to the point where sometimes I wake up, I'm like, when did this happen? But it's everything just started. It was just right there. And as long as you keep following the path, the stone is just going to keep on being built into the floor, and it's just going to keep lighting up. Just keep going, just keep going. Because I work for, you're from Brooklyn, I work for Con Edison. And I had the mentality that I got this job. I never have to do anything. I'm going to do my 35 years, and I'm going to retire, and that's it. And that was always my mentality. You get a job like that, you don't leave. Like, that's the Western way of thinking. You get something, you get a pension with benefits, there's nothing else to do. And it was only in the last 2 years that I said, okay, I can leave now. Because I was able to build something for myself that I didn't even know was going to get me to that point. But a higher power knew that it was going to get me to that point. So my thing for people with healing is if you have an issue focusing or even getting into a detox, you got to start slow. For me, I went from having Domino's pizza on Sunday to raw vegan on Monday. That is for everybody, but it's because of how horrible I felt. So I did my last bitch Sunday and went raw vegan, and that was it. But I always tell people, go slow. And if you need to just do a week detox, like.
Well, what made you do this is called overnight success. You just did an overnight shift. I did an overnight shift. Everyone's can do that. But what came that Sunday, and it was a moment of waking up, getting more enlightened to okay, I got to do this right now. What happened?
Pick your phone up. Pick the phone up. Hold the phone in your hand.
I'll hold it in my hand.
Is this better?
Way better. Thank you. Sorry to interrupt.
I hope
you.
it stays. No, it's all right. Well, for the food transformation, I felt like it had to be an overnight change because I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't take waking up feeling terrible, having blackouts, and it was weird. I thought it would have been anemia or something pop up in the blood work, and they were like, "No, your blood levels are fine." So it was just an entire disconnection from one organ to the next. Nothing was functioning together. And I just spent that Sunday crying my eyes out. What's wrong with me? What is wrong with me? And I couldn't figure it out. And then I decided, you know what? I'm going to buy a detox. Just, I forgot what company because it was over 13 years ago. But it was a detox, and it was a 3-month detox, and it recommended a raw vegan diet. And I just kept it going because I just kept on feeling better and better and better. And then the thoughts were clearer. And then the spiritual journey came next. So I was pretty much forced into it because I couldn't take it anymore. Some people will just accept it and get on medication, but I don't want to take nothing for the rest of my life.
And the side effects come
Sunday
with
to
it also.
What was that?
And to be in that way and feel like there's no way out. So you're inspiring those who are listening to you right now. They're saying, well, maybe, it took you years to get there. So it's not like you really did overnight. But then you said, I'm not going to make it if I don't make a shift right now.
Right, exactly.
If anybody is at that point right now, please connect with Shaneequewa. I'm saying Shaneequewa. Shaneequewa. Please connect with her. What she's saying is that it's time. We're going to take their hand together and we're going to say it's time to step over into wellness. Because we procrastinate until you lost your sight. You lost your ability to walk. A number of issues was happening. We can go from death to resurrection. The pandemic is here. You have a fever. You have pneumonia kicking in. You can't breathe. It's no time to play. It's no time to say, maybe next week. Maybe after, whatever the changes that we have to have, it will be perfect. It's not perfect when we make a change, always. But it's time to make that shift.
Right,
So if we're still in the winter, and the colder it gets, the more challenged we are on our health level.
Oh, so absolutely.
I want to encourage them to follow you, to walk with you, because you're going to be able to inspire them to make that change. What do you have coming up that they can connect to right now? They can go ahead and walk on the path of wellness.
Well, I have the name of my herbal company is High Frequency. And we offer a range of different detoxes, and we do have support that's provided via DM or email. We don't have phone consultations yet because of the time restriction, but we're looking to do that soon. And I wrote my own book here too.
Oh, okay. What's the name of your book?
It's called We Are Not the Same.
Give us a few of the chapters. Give us a few of the chapters in there.
Oh, of course. You might laugh because, like I said, I'm from Brooklyn. I like to keep it
They'll love it.
The couple of the chapters is the black of the berry, the sweet of the juice.
Yes.
Melanin manipulation. Sipping on gin and juice. Gucci shoes and Chinese food.
Oh, goodness. That's a chap right there for sure.
Listen, you just see a lot when you grow up in certain neighborhoods, and the way that it's constructed for you to fail, unless you either get out of it or something happens like what happened with me, you won't really see the environment you're in and how it's literally just created for you to grow up with these foods or be trapped in this kind of religion or trapped in this way of thinking. So that's why I have all of these. The lies my teacher told me. That's one. I referenced your book in the Know ThySelf section because there's 3 different sections: one for food, one for history, and one for spiritual balancing. Because the history did it for me. The things that I learned in school to come out and not realize till 26 that about 80% of it was lies. I was like, this is crazy. So
well,
it was
Dr.
a
re-education. Dr.
Thank
Africa,
you.
Personally, you're his continuation. That's how I feel.
Thank
and
you.
He's very proud of you for what you've been able to bring together and bring to the people, and then put it in a text where it doesn't stop with your word. It continues. People can study. So, how do they purchase their book?
So my book is on Book Baby Shop. It's bookbabyshop.com. But I also have the link in my bio on Shaneequewa_09 and also the high frequency page, which I'll write down here. Oh, somebody pinned it already. But I have it on my website too.
Thank you to all my subscribers. We are giving away a free 7-day detox kit when we reach our milestone goal of 50,000 subscribers to this channel. To enter for your chance to win, all you have to do is subscribe to our channel, like and comment on this video, and we will choose the winner from the comments section. Thank you for growing with us. Ashe.